Welcome to Seasons blog. Distribution is infrastructure. Seasons 2 months and making value flow. Today, crypto can ship over 39,000 tokens in a single day. It can route $2 billion through decentralized exchanges before lunch. It can bridge, swap, lend, and settle across dozens of chains with sub-second execution. What it can't do, however, what it has never been able to do well, is move value to the people who are supposed to have it. Not once as an event, continuously as infrastructure. The $20 billion failed experiment. Crypto projects have airdropped over $20 billion since 2017. 88% of those tokens lost their value within 3 months, as Dapperdar showed in September 2025. More than anything else, this was a structural failure. No ongoing incentive, farm and dump economics, and binary eligibility snapshots that create arbitrary in or out lines with no mechanism for what happens next. Further, airdrops, crypto's favorite distribution method, have largely become utterly inefficient from a retention perspective. As Optimism's Airdrop 5 highlighted, for instance, a $100 million airdrop retains roughly $4.2 million in value after 30 days. That's a 4.2% retention rate, with $23.81 spent for every dollar that recipients still hold a month later. The remaining $95+ million evaporates. It's either dumped or abandoned. And that's assuming the airdrop even reaches its recipients. Over 6% of Arbitrum's airdrop allocation, about $57 million, remained unclaimed because eligible wallets simply never showed up before the claim window closed. Jupiter's Jupuary did worse. Over $215 million, 43%, unclaimed. Allocated, but never distributed. That's $272 million across 2 protocols alone. Not stolen, not hacked. Stuck behind a claim page that too many people never visited. It's pure deadweight loss from the friction of asking people to come and get their money. Also, when distribution reaches holders, the incentives are often backward. The Libra token scandal last year made this painfully clear. After receiving a presidential endorsement, insiders coordinated $107 million in sell-offs, while 114,410 wallets absorbed the losses. This proves that current distribution models don't just fail at delivery, they can actively enable extraction. And although airdrops are, at best, a marketing event with a claims page, the industry treated them as the only distribution tool for almost a decade. What distribution actually means? Real distribution is the continuous, automatic movement of value from a system to its participants, in assets they can actually use. From dividends and equities to coupon payments, in bonds and rental income in real estate, that's what it is. Credits where due, TradFi built this infrastructure over centuries. You don't lose your bond coupon forever unless you claim it by visiting a website within a fixed 90-day window. Dividend processing, coupon payments, income flows. All of it is automated and recurring. They arrive in your accounts, and you mostly don't need to do as much as lift a finger. But crypto jumped from create the asset to trade the asset, largely skipping the distribution layer, hoping it would figure itself out. What emerged instead was a patchwork of one-time airdrops, masquerading as distribution, staking rewards that recycle the same token back to you, and manual claim processes that leave hundreds of millions stranded. That said, this is changing and projects are trying out new distribution models. Mega ETH locked 53% of its total token supply behind measurable performance milestones, meaning they will come into circulation only when the project reaches predefined growth targets. Bankless founder David Hoffman likens this to Tesla's compensation model. But more interestingly, the distribution will follow a conviction scaling model, where those who lock up their tokens for longer will likely receive greater rewards. Likewise, Backpack Exchange is promising holders the opportunity to swap tokens for equity, given they stake for at least 1 year. Cap Protocol, on the other hand, ran what it called crypto's first stable drop, distributing the CUSD stablecoin instead of its native governance token. While such changes are welcome, these approaches solve parts of the problem: better vesting mechanics, improved launch alignment, or real-time payment rails. Catering to specific moments in a token's lifecycle, they enable specific types of value transfers. What's still missing, however, is the layer that captures value from real, ongoing economic activity and delivers it to participants. Automatically in diversified assets, without anyone needing to do anything, and most importantly, without locking up either the capital or the payout assets. Seasons 2 months. What continuous distribution looks like. Against the backdrop of a $20 billion failed experiment, hundreds of millions stranded behind deserted claim pages, and an industry only now waking up to the problem, what happens when distribution is treated as a core, structural component, a design principle from day one? That's one of the questions we set out to answer with Seasons. During its first 2 months of operations, the protocol captured over $136,000 in fees from about $1.36 million in total transaction volume, and we have already distributed $83,000 plus in yield to 278 nodes so far, across 23 rounds of distribution. Holding 10,000 plus Cs was all you had to do to be a receiver of this distribution. No staking, no lockups, no claim pages. Round after round, a diversified basket of liquid assets would have landed directly in your wallet, despite crypto suffering one of its worst market-wide drawdowns since 2022. Because we built distribution into Seasons' foundation, rather than slapping it on top as an afterthought. What's more, our distribution model doesn't only benefit nodes and Cs holders, it creates real demand and sustained buying pressure for projects included as yield payout assets. $BONK, $PENGU, FARTCOIN, WIF, and JBMB as of February 2026. Between December 9th, 2025 and February 11th, 2026, we acquired and distributed about $1.8 billion BONK, $1.8 million PENGU, $47,000 WIF, $61,000 FARTCOIN, and $28 million JBMB. In doing so, we generated 5,000 plus transactions for each of these projects, providing them with a recurring flow while putting their tokens in the hands of new and actual users. That's organic demand created by the distribution mechanism itself. It encapsulates the difference between a system where allocated value goes unclaimed and one where every dollar automatically reaches holders, unlocking a continuous distribution pipeline for the assets involved. Distribution is the layer that completes the circuit from value creation to delivery. It's a critical piece of infrastructure in this sense, at par with, or perhaps even more important than, bridges, oracles, aggregators, and so on. It's the connective tissue of finance. And while crypto generates enormous economic activity every single day, the value it creates doesn't flow back to participants, users, and projects alike in a consistent, structured, and even predictable manner. Seasons fixes that. 2 months in, it's still day one. But distributing $83,000 plus in yield with 1.8 billion tokens acquired across 5 projects has proven our thesis and mechanism. That too, through what's been 2 of the coldest and driest months in crypto's history. Value must flow, and with Seasons it will. Bull or bear, we don't care.